Good morning, everybody. Well, interesting times to say the least, but I just thought what I wanted to do was, obviously you can see that I'm working from home, just like probably the rest of Australia. But what I wanted to do for you was to push out a few videos. The changes that we've seen over the weekend have been unprecedented. There's been an incredible volume of information that's been pushed out by the government. Volume of information, particularly in relation to the virus, but which I think most of us can decipher. But what is a little bit more confusing is the financial package announced by the Prime Minister and the Treasurer over the weekend. And there's a lot of information in there. What I want to try and do is do a couple of, reasonably sharp, 5-6 minute videos for you that explain exactly what these packages mean to you. I think it's all very well that we see it on the TV, we see how it's produced in the press, but we actually sometimes can be difficult to relate that to exactly what it means in your situation. So I've divided this into two videos. The first one I'm going to work through with you this morning is how this stimulus package impacts individuals. Now, as you know, the packages are designed to I'll just get the share up for you. The packages are designed to impact both individuals and businesses. So what I want to do is quickly work through exactly what the benefits are for individuals, just so that you've got this sort of starting point if we can. On the 27th, yesterday, obviously, Prime Minister Morrison announced a series of measures that are going to affect us in this coronavirus emergency. And measures are for all Australians, but they are defined where people are eligible for each benefit. So I'll try and explain that to you. These benefits form part of an amazing $189 billion support package. I've never, ever in my career seen any government involved in the economy in such a big way. Okay, the first stage of this for individuals is called income support. And the government are going to offer a time-limited supplement or additional payment over and above the New Start allowance. Now, the New Start allowance, you and I would remember as the unemployment benefit effectively. So once unemployed, you're eligible for the unemployment benefit, which is about $550 a fortnight. But if you're unemployed as a result of what's going on with coronavirus, that is, you're not unemployed as a result of wanting to be unemployed, then you get this additional $550 per fortnight. Now, that brings the total New Start payment up to just over, $1,100 a fortnight, which is a significant increase. It's available to anyone who loses their job as a result of the layoff, a sole trader who loses a portion of their income, a contractor who suffers a loss of income. Now, it varies a little bit on those last two as to who gets what, but as soon as your income starts to sort of get reduced down by more than 20%, you start to become available. All the waiting periods for this benefit are now suspended. It's paid irrespective of your asset base. So normally, if you had a rental property or shares or additional money lying around, Centrelink would not have paid you this New Start allowance. Now you will get it if you're laid off as a consequence of the virus. The recipient needs to show that they don't have any other benefits available from their employer. And this new streamlined application process, online application process, means that people aren't queuing at local Centrelink offices. They can just basically click online and get it approved. And those payments will start from, beg your pardon, that should read March 27th, not April 27th. Let's assume an example here where we've got Leonie. She's in her mid-30s, 2 kids, 10 and 12, and she works in a travel agency. Now, the economic downturn has led to the fact that Leonie no longer has any income as a result of being laid off from the agency, from the travel agency. She'll be eligible to apply for job seeker payment and the coronavirus supplement under this new streamlined process. She can apply online, make a declaration about her identity, residency status, income, and she has hours reduced to 0 as a result of the downturn. Now, she's eligible to get the job seeker payment, and she will actually get $1,171.50 per fortnight, and that will be made up of the job seeker payment single with a dependent child. So that is the $550 plus an extra allowance for having the 2 children, plus an energy supplement, which is paid to all pensioners, and plus this extra coronavirus subsidy of $550 per fortnight. And she also gets the tax benefit Part A and B, which was the case before this happened. So that brings up that total up to $1,171, which is a significant amount of money and keeps the economy running. Now, in addition to this, the government is making one-off payments. And these payments are going to basically anybody who is on a pension or anybody who receives benefits under an Australian pension card. So somebody that might have high levels of assets and income, but still gets some government support. First payment of this will $1,500 to all pensioners paid directly to their bank accounts. Those payments are tax-free. So in another example for you, assume we've got two retirees who are both receiving the age pension. They'll each receive $750, which means that they'll get $1,500 first up. And then that'll be made on the 31st of March. And then on the 10th of July, they'll receive an additional $750 each. And that'll bring their total to $3,000 injected into their household between effectively now and early July. The other important announcement the government made in relation to individuals was that we will be able to access our superannuation if affected by coronavirus. So again, it's only eligible for people that have actually lost income or lost benefits as a result of their change in employment status. But what will happen is that you'll be able to access up to $10,000 in those circumstances of your super before the end of this financial year, and a further $10,000 in the next financial year. Individuals don't need to pay tax on that, and it won't affect any other benefits. To get this early release benefit, again, you have to be unemployed, or you have to be eligible to get that job seeker payment that we talked about just a minute ago. And that all has to have occurred after January 2020, and you need to have been redundant, had those work hours reduced by 20% or more, and if you're a sole trader, have your income interrupted by a level of 20% or more. So it's going to be a lot of people that are going to be impacted by this. The applications are actually made through the Australian Taxation Office, and the ATO will direct your super fund to make a payment. And they sort of announced that there were going to be special arrangements for self-managed super funds, but we haven't got a lot of that detail yet. But again, if you're in a self-managed superannuation fund, I urge you to get in touch with us to discuss what your options are. Just finally, there's going to be some reduction in Centrelink deeming. That means that this is the rate that the government uses to calculate the amount of pension benefit due to people who have investments. Now, as of May 1st, 2020, on the first, 51,800, and have the effect of increasing pension payment for just everybody with some financial assets. That increased payment will happen automatically. You don't need to apply for it, and there's nothing else you need to do. It'll just happen as a result of receiving the pension. Look, I suppose just to wrap this up for you, I didn't want to make this an overly long presentation, but I did want to say to you that these are the issues that are available, and the assistance that's available for individuals. Now, I think everybody now starts to realise the depth of this problem, and how we need to just work our way through this, probably through until July or August of this year. As I said at the opening, this is the biggest intervention that I've ever seen. It'll probably mean that when we come out of this, we're going to get taxation rates like we've never seen before, because all this money that's poured into the economy is going to have to go back to the government at some stage. This information is really for you and your kids, your family members, everybody. Please share this video. We're all in this together, as they keep telling me, but the point is that we're here to provide help for our clients. If you have any concerns, if you feel you're eligible for one of these benefits, you need to be in touch. Obviously, my contact details are going to be via the office, which will still be manned, and then from there it's mobile, and we're happy to do this kind of video link up or telephone, or do whatever we can to help people through all this. Thank you very much for listening to me on this one. I'll follow it up with one for business. There's going to be other videos I'm going to be pushing out over the next few days. So we just want to make sure that our clients get the absolute maximum levels of communication. At these times, these uncertain times, you have to be assured that we're still working and we're still working for our clients. We want to come out of this. We want our clients' wealth to be protected. So please take care, stay as healthy as possible, observe all the government guidelines, and we'll look forward to seeing each other in a physical sense in a few months' time. Thanks.